And let's get cracking. I want to start off with the Bruno Guimarães latest, because, and bear with me, because I'm in a setup that I've basically just makeshifted. I haven't got the old setup running. If I did, believe me, but we'd go back to original settings, but I don't, right? So I'm having to literally hold all the info that I've got and run off there. But let's start off with Bruno G. There's a bit of news in terms of what's going on with him and Arsenal, because that's what concerns us. What's Arsenal doing? Well, let's get cracking. Here it is. Newcastle United has rejected Arsenal bid for Bruno Guimarães. Arsenal submitted £72.5 million. Newcastle deemed it not enough. Arsenal are preparing an £85 million offer, 80 fixed plus 5 in bonuses, personal terms already agreed. Let me tell you this, okay? If, and that would be a big jump, I would be surprised if Arsenal actually went that far. But if they do, they will get the player. I'll just tell you that now. The whole thing up until now of why there's been excitement on the Chelsea end is because we've inquired. Yeah, we have inquired about Bruno Guimarães. Don't let anyone tell you that we've not inquired. We've not tried to phone in. We've not tried to, hey, Newcastle, how you doing? Spoken. That's going to be briefed, and it's going to be played down, and it's going to be put all the way on the floor like nothing's going on for two reasons. Firstly, leverage. Let Arsenal get on with what they got to get on with, and if they flop it, then we move in, and no one needs to know. And secondly, well, it plays it down in case he does actually go to Arsenal, right? But Arsenal need to up their offer properly. 85 million is the number. And we already know this. 85 is it. If Arsenal actually put 85 on the table, Newcastle, knowing that Chelsea can put 85, they're asking for 85, they won't accept less. Unless Bruno kicks up a fuss, which apparently he's not doing because he wants to keep it professional. And he's been doing that up until this point. And he's got no issue with Newcastle. He's not looking to do an HIJACK. So Newcastle are in a position of, we want 85. If Arsenal actually do that, it's a wrap. He will go to Arsenal. If they don't, coast is clear. So let's wait and see. Eddie Howe spoke on Bruno Guimarães today as well. So let's hear what Eddie Howe had to say. Here it is. He said, Eddie Howe speaks for the first time on Bruno Guimarães' future, saying, I've spoken to Bruno before, during and after the World Cup. We have had some really good conversations. He's just a fantastic person. I don't know what's going to happen with his future. That's for other people to speculate about. There's conversations I'm not part of. I don't think it's fair to compare to HIJACK last summer. You've got to look at it in its own right. He's captain of our club and been an unbelievable player. Through the time we have worked together, I speak on behalf of everyone at the club. We absolutely love him, and of course everyone would love him to stay. He's due back on the 31st, and there's nothing to say he won't be back. And to be fair, respect. Respect, yeah. This is what I'm saying. Things are professional. It's not like HIJACK, where he's forcing it. I want out. I'm on strike. I ain't showing up. Take me to court. Like all of that madness. No. None of that going on with Bruno. It's just on whether Arsenal are going to flipping pull the trigger or not. Now, we heard other news about Arsenal today, which has just sent the entire football transfer world left. And that was the first thing that I read when I landed, by the way. I landed, my signal came back on, everything was all good. I got flooded with messages, and all of a sudden I see David Ornstein, Arsenal looking to inquire about Vinicius. What? I'm going to do a video on Nunes Talks Football. So make sure you're on Nunes Talks Football tonight and you get a double whammy. So make sure you're subscribed over there, link in the description. But, listen, Arsenal, respectfully, how about you sort out Bruno and then you can start thinking about Vinicius? Because Vinicius is going to cost you not just an arm and a leg, it's going to cost you an entire body, the house that the body resides in, the estate and town that the house resides in, and the town and city of the country that it resides in. I mean... Arsenal, please don't punch above your weight. Simple as that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that, and I'll keep you posted. Now, good news, and it's on this. Let me. We did it, guys.
But you were telling him you're going to go for this job and you're going to resign. I'm going to apply for the job. I really want to go there and do it. I just want to let you know. It isn't your official resignation. They can't start the wheels in motion. They can't, because a lot of companies, by the way, say you're owed bonuses, but you hand in your resignation, you lose your bonuses. So a lot of smart people, when they find new jobs, they might say to the new company, look, I'm going to come and work for you, but I don't want to hand my resignation until this date because I'm owed a bonus. Same goes on in football. So there'll be a loyalty bonus to them. It's another one of the reasons why some clubs wait and don't get all their business done in the first few weeks of a window, because opportunities present themselves. And that is why sometimes football fans have got to learn to be a little more patient. There is a risk to it, of course. Nobody's saying there's not a risk. But like most things in life, there's a risk. You know, you see anyone who's rich and successful and you think, wow, I'd love a house like that, a car like that, holidays like that. Most of the time there was a risk involved where it could have gone wrong. Very few people that become successful in life, whether you look at success through monetary terms, security terms, health terms, whatever it may be, there's typically a risk that comes with it. And someone who goes to the gym, there's a risk that you might bust your knee. There's a risk you might break an arm lifting weights. There's a risk you might pull a hamstring, right? There's a risk to everything you do. The idea you can go through life without taking risks is absolutely stupid. Let's put it that way.
The Premier League transfer window has hit boiling point, and right at the epicenter is Newcastle United captain Bruno Guimarães. Arsenal have taken their stance, placing a structured £70 million proposal on the table in an attempt to pry the Brazilian midfielder away from Tyneside. But Newcastle's response was swift, stern, and decisive. The Magpies have knocked back the initial advance, leaving Mikel Arteta and Edu's recruitment team facing a high-stakes dilemma. Arsenal believe they have done the groundwork, having already established a broad understanding on personal terms with the players' representatives. However, negotiating with Newcastle's hierarchy is proving to be an entirely different battle. And as if a £70 million rejection wasn't complex enough, whispers are intensifying across London that Chelsea are monitoring every single wrinkle in this standoff. Are the Blues gearing up for another late, explosive hijack? Let's break down exactly where this transfer stands, why Newcastle are digging in, and what comes next. To understand why Newcastle slammed the door on Arsenal's opening move, you have to look at the landscape in Tyneside right now. Having already weathered the high-profile exits of Anthony Gordon and Sandro Tonali earlier in the window, Newcastle United are in no mood, and under no financial obligation, to let their team captain walk out on the cheap. Newcastle views Sandro Tonali's £100 million package move to Tottenham as the baseline metric for elite Premier League midfielders. From Eddie Howe's perspective, Bruno Guimarães isn't just an engine in midfield. He is the talisman, the heartbeat, and the vocal leader of the squad. Sources close to St. James's Park indicate that Newcastle won't even entertain serious dialogue unless an offer starts with an £80 million guaranteed sum, potentially escalating beyond £85 million to £90 million with add-ons. Arsenal's £70 million package was viewed inside the Magpies boardroom as an opening gambit, one designed to test resolve rather than finalize a deal. Arsenal's transfer strategy this summer has been deliberate, but cautious. They don't want to overpay. Yet, when you're bidding for a premier 28-year-old international midfielder in his prime, market value is dictated by the selling club, not the buyer. Just weeks ago, Arsenal thought they were in prime position for Morgan Rogers. They set a firm internal valuation of £80 million, believed a deal was manageable, and hesitated on pulling the trigger. What happened? Chelsea stepped into the room with a massive £117 million proposal and blew everyone out of the water. That experience left a deep scar on Arsenal's summer planning. Chelsea's recruitment team, backed by relentless financial backing, has demonstrated zero hesitation when jumping into open bidding wars. While Chelsea have also been inspecting options like Karim Alajbegovic and Alex Scott, Stamford Bridge decision-makers are keeping close tabs on Bruno's situation.